Hello and welcome to the third installment of Eclipse Pro. I'm your host, David Scheller. I'm joined by none other than Steven Anderson.
And it's great to be here tonight for Eclipse Pro Wrestling in Baltimore. Happy to be here.
Indeed, we are also joined by a fresh face to the table, Enzo Andretti.
Hey, yo, we live in Baltimore. Let's see some faces get cracked here, right?
I love it.
Indeed, of course. Opening up the floor tonight, we have none other than Shayna Baszler opening the show. Can only imagine what's on her mind.
Absolutely. Given last week's actions by Shayna Baszler, where we saw her interfere at the end of the match that we saw against Lady Hawk and Liv Morgan. Interesting to see what will be on her mind tonight.
Hey, Shayna
Very
Baszler.
well, as we head down to the ring.
Let's see what she has to say. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Like I said, if you watched last week's show, it was actually very interesting because the match between Lady Hawk and Liv Morgan, where Shayna Baszler, quote unquote, interfered, it went down with Lady Hawk getting a clean win over Morgan. And it looked like Baszler interfered just after the official win by Lady Hawk.
Indeed. Got that submission victory just in the nick of time before Shayna Baszler would get the boot in.
Yeah, because I was watching it and I couldn't tell at first if it was a DQ or what. I had to watch it again to see. Yeah, she got the clean win, but Baszler still definitely got involved.
Enzo, did you catch last week's installment? I know you were backstage.
I was backstage and I did see that victory. Shayna is she's on a warpath, man. She's got a claim to the title, and I think she's gonna stick to it. Gonna go after it. Might break a couple arms.
Thanks for joining. This is Bobby Fish.
Believe that is none other than Lady Hawk herself. Thank you everyone for tuning in, starting off at a very impressive 9 viewers.
Absolutely, this is a place to be for action on Twitch. Eclipse Pro Wrestling tonight out of Baltimore, Maryland. Again, thank you all for joining. We got one hell of a show in store for you tonight.
Hope nobody pulls a Robert Baszler for titles. Hey.
Shayna Baszler, of course,
Hey.
really itching for another match with Lady Hawk. Clearly,
See the
something
intensity.
happened backstage
See the
between the two of them.
See it spewing from her.
Okay, sorry I had to go on mute there because I wanted to get some catering to enjoy tonight's show. This is going to be great.
Hey, oh,
Of
we
course,
got
I
catering.
thought Lady Hawk is backstage being restrained by management as not to interfere Shayna Baszler here, but we will be hearing from Lady Hawk next week, who is demanding some mic time. So could very well see her opening up the show next week.
Looking forward to that. Definitely won't be a disappointment at all. Shayna Baszler, as she's leaving the ring there, her look of confidence is without parallel.
Hey, we got $1 million.
We do have the first action of the night.
Could be one hell
We
of
got
a
money
match here.
bags. We got money bags. That's what we versus
None other than Esselmania taking on CM Punk.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a match. You know, Enzo, I'm the kind of person where I go by my heart and I go by my gut, and usually my gut is correct because my heart doesn't work properly. But I'm going with Esselmania here over CM Punk. I think it would be an upset, and I like to see that. I like a good underdog story.
Albeit you do think it's an upset that Esselmania will beat CM Punk. I have CM Punk hitting the GTS, and we hear 1, 2, 3 with CM Punk's hand being raised in the center of that ring.
I respect your opinion. It's going to be one hell of a fight. Again, the first match for tonight's card here for Eclipse Pro Wrestling out of Baltimore, Maryland tonight. Our third installment of the show. Looking forward to get this action kicked off.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed, as we head to the ring, I believe we will be seeing Esselmania make his way down the ring first.
Look at the fans that are on their feet, enjoying already what's about to happen here tonight. As we kick off tonight's card, look at the confidence. Esselmania comes down into the ring. You can tell he has the idea that he's going to take this match, and I admire that confidence.
Got quite the physique as well.
I love those glasses. Very bred to hit and hard.
Power advantage.
Look at this, the crowd on their feet, ready for action here, and I don't blame them. It's going to be one hell of a night. Let's light this candle, ladies and gentlemen.
CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
Very funny, very funny. That's what's got them cheeks.
Uh-oh. We got a special guest commentator with me.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, I got Mini Shredder.
What's going on there, sorry?
I got Mini Shredder. She's tuning in to watch the show with us.
Very cool. Welcome, Mini Shredder.
See.
If we had Lady Hawk in the audience still. We have David Scheller, main man, myself. We have Steven Anderson. Make yourself known.
Hey ho, Steven Anderson here. What is up?
And we also have on Enzo Andretti.
Hey, yo, it's Enzo. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you all. Did briefly announce them at the start, but now that we have 9 viewers, best that we reintroduced ourselves. Of course, heading into our first match of the night.
Again, look at CM Punk coming into the ring here, just as confident as his opponent, if you will, in my opinion. Look, I mean, the confidence is just dripping from both of them.
Oh, that's a
Wild swing there at the start. Esselmania may be a little bit too confident heading into the match with who they call the best in the world.
Club and work back ahead.
CM coming out, really guns blazing, but again, I don't think that's going to be a good strategy for him in the long run. Don't want to overpower or burn too much of your energy here.
Both these men pretty wall to the wall in the early goings here.
Already got the fight to the outside. That goes back in now. See him follow
An early pinfall attempt, but not even a 1 count over Punk.
I'll tell you what, though, even though that was a very a quick kick out, I always say this one thing: if you can apply that pressure, it's psychological, right? CN's already had 1 pin attempt against him in this opening matchup so far. That quickly, it doesn't mean much, but in my opinion, it's a psychological game.
Hey, I see. That's
very keen eye from Lady Hawk there. Esselmania not taking the glasses off for the match.
Well, maybe he's like Cyclops.
Cyclops, very good X-Men reference there.
Absolutely, you know, he takes those glasses off and it's a whole other ball of wax you're dealing with. You got a whole other set of problems.
Essel going counter for counter with CM Punk, only to plant him when he's back.
Couldn't agree with you more. What a
We did see Esselmania get barreled over the top rope earlier in the match. Could that affect the long-term longevity? Long-term longevity, just the longevity in this matchup.
I mean, I think it could, but only time will tell. I think it's a little too soon putting the cart before the horse here. Jesus, the maneuvering here between these two men is definitely phenomenal. A good tit for tat, if you will, between Esselmania and CM Punk so far in this matchup. You know, I always say, I always like to call offensive drives, and there's CM Punk trying to get that pin attempt 1-for-1 now with the pin attempts between Esselmania and CM Punk. But we haven't seen an offensive drive, if you will, between one or the other. It's been very tit for tat, very back and forth so far.
Another very interesting point to note that none of the falls have gone to even a 1 count yet.
Right, we just saw that second pinfall attempt by Esselmania, now 2-1 on the pinfall attempts between the two. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Oh, the brain-busting pile driver. The pile driver. Oh, with the strike.
Now,
the reversal.
We know who Enzo's got, you know who I got, but who do you got, Mr. Scheller?
Oh, pile driver for pile driver.
I think that the experience of CM Punk here could very well be the undoing for Esselmania.
Flying elbow drop.
Oh jeez, the diving elbow drop giving the first 1 count.
Very well executed to take into consideration that he was conscious and aware, CM was, of the ring positioning of Esselmania.
This match out. He puts Esselmania out.
What a near fall.
Oh,
the GTS
and the kick
getting
out
the
of
2
2.
count there. Oh no.
2.5.
Oh,
CM Punk sets up
oh
for
no,
it again.
not again.
Sets up for it again.
Go to sleep,
Can he
part
hit
2.
2? Can he hit 2? Oh, 2 perfect go to sleeps.
Jesus, CM Punk relentless there, delivering back to back.
And there you have it.
Go to sleeps for the victory.
Let me tell you,
boys, ever bet
Punk.
against Punk.
You're right on this one, Enzo. You're right on this one. Look, like I said, I went with Esselmania. I thought, and I don't regret going with that decision. One thing I think we could all agree on was that was one hell of an opening matchup for tonight's card here for Eclipse Pro Wrestling here out of Baltimore tonight.
I mean, counter for counter.
What a performance by the debuting Esselmania as well. Just nothing he could do with back-to-back go-to-sleeps.
Yeah, when you're debuting against somebody like CM Punk, I mean, that's a hard mountain to climb right there, right? You're going up against somebody with the experience and the technical know-how. So, good outing, but just wasn't enough to get the win.
A tall ass, no matter how you slice it.
Exactly.
Very good match.
Potentially, very potentially, Lady Hawk, if he had taken those damn glasses off.
Next we got Nakamura or Takahashi.
Of course, now we head to the Far East as we have 2 practitioners of New Japan Strong Style facing off in Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiromu Takahashi. Unlike some, I do not struggle with the Japanese names near as much.
This is going to be one hell of a fight between these two. Nothing against Takahashi, but I've said it once, I've said it again. Great things come from people who wear red leather. Look at Michael Jackson, look at Eddie Murphy, and Shinsuke Nakamura fits that bill. He's going to get the W tonight, and it's not only because he wears red leather, it's because he is the king of strong style, in my opinion.
Dude,
Indeed.
the
Shinsuke
MJ
Nakamura
and
got
the
a bit more
references.
height, a bit more reach.
Thank you, Enzo.
Takahashi
References are
definitely has the
subtle.
speed advantage, however, so it'd be very interesting to see if power can overcome speed here tonight.
And there's that red leather. Enzo appreciates what I'm saying.
Takahashi starting the match early, it seems.
Uh-oh.
Shinsuke got eyes in the back of his head. Delivers the powerbomb onto the ramp.
That's what I like to call a preemptive strike. But Shinsuke seems to be in control at the moment. At least he, having that defense here as we kick off this second match for tonight's card.
Trading some brutal strikes back and forth so
mathematics,
far.
but,
Now finally in the ring.
Taking it to the time.
It's so hard not to like Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's not just his in-ring capability, it's his stage presence or his ring presence, whatever you want to call it. He's an electrifying competitor. His maneuvering and his capabilities are just bar none without parallel. I love to see it. Look, he hasn't even taken his jacket off, and he's just making his impression felt.
That's strong style. He's not this king strong style for no
At
reason.
least he gets the one throwdown in before we've got the jacket off and it's match on.
I think I'm going to go with the king of strong style. I know we had an upstart here from Takahashi.
Takahashi perhaps making a mistake.
Arguably the greatest intercontinental champion and pro wrestler ever seen. The luxury exists. So to say Nakamura is a bit of a slouch.
I think I completely agree, Enzo. I think that's what will make this match so great. Already been pretty explosive up to this point between these two competitors here tonight.
Good stop with the ball. Ouch.
God, he just wore his chest like a shoe.
First knee straight.
Throwing each other around the ring, seen more Irish rips than in Dublin, really.
Reversal and more reversals than an Uno game.
Boy, I love me some Uno.
Oh my. Base 10 though?
Have you ever heard of Irish whip wrestling, Enzo?
I have not. I have not.
Apparently they're soon to have a new world champion, but that's not really the time or place to talk about that.
Irish whip, yeah, that's a promo. That's a promotion out of obviously Ireland, right? But I believe that they are one of the few Irish promotions. Correct me if I'm wrong. That works out of Northern and the Republic, which is the true Ireland.
I was waiting for Emperor.
Then back to the match, both these men slogging down. Seems that they've evened out slightly, going a bit more back and forth.
What's the insecurities?
I mean, absolutely, they've been going back and forth. Like I said, I have yet to see tonight what I call an offensive drive, which to me is when somebody has control of the match, is dictating the pace of the match, and we have not seen that in the previous bout, and we have not really seen it yet, although Takahashi's looking like he's on the way there. Look, going out of the ring, Shinsuke, not a bad idea.
That's like stiff four.
Throwing them bows.
Oh, what a hurt.
Well executed there by Takahashi there with that Hurricane Rana. You can tell by looking at Shinsuke's kind of sluggish getting up there at first.
Oh no, what's Shinsuke looking for here? Over the top rope to the outside. Oh,
My
I would
God!
like to be Takahashi there.
Humanity! Oh! Oh!
Wow! Wow!
Talk about pain.
Very well
Folks,
executed.
folks back at home, just so you know, that may look like padding, but that is only about a half-inch thick piece.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's
Very
solid
well said,
concrete
Enzo.
under it. So when you hit that floor, you really have
No support.
No support. It's just straight ground.
And we didn't mention it earlier, but during the beginning of this match, when Takahashi had that preemptive strike on the rampway, there was some brutality there. I mean, there's no give and take on that rampway. That's solid steel as well.
Oh, it's steel. Flesh and steel. That's never good. Nakamura is taking it to Takahashi with reversals. Takahashi is some sort of reversal expert. Let's start calling him Harry Houdini.
And so that's why I'm saying I have yet to, in my opinion, you know, it's a matter of opinion and it's objective, but there's no offensive drive there. Very back and forth.
Exploder.
Right.
Oh!
Oh
he
God!
Clearly caught the apron there. That's a whole lot of no good.
Face right to the concrete. Okay, Nakamura is looking to take back in the ring. Let's go. Setting up he's setting up for Kinshasa.
Oh no.
A little bit more punishment.
Clearly no. Oh, Kinshasa!
Out of nowhere. It's it. That's it. The time bomb's time is up. And he kicks out at 2.
Kicks
Wow!
out.
Unbelievable! Can you believe
Devastation.
that?
Talk about taking down heat. Nakamura finally gets the first offensive drive and does nothing with it but a 2 count.
Unbelievable. Not to be surprised, though. Takahashi's a competitor that demands respect, and he's showing that through his actions in this matchup tonight with how he's holding his own against Shinsuke.
That's what you expect when the New Japan stars.
Couldn't agree with you more, Enzo.
I mean, these guys are, any New Japan guy up and down the roster is built taking onslaught. That's exactly what these guys are taking. It's straight brutality, both sides.
Another pin attempt there.
Shinsuke's lost a little bit going for pinfalls after almost every move.
It makes you wonder, is Shinsuke losing his patience? Because to your point, David, I mean, it just seems to me that he should spend more time tearing down, trying to break down Takahashi instead of these pin attempts.
Oh, could be a package power driver.
Nope.
First into it.
Nice lariat there.
Oh, knee to the sternum.
And that's not the first time we've seen Shinsuke Nakamura use his knees as a weapon here. Definitely a signature component to the repertoire of Shinsuke Nakamura's moveset.
Big exploder suplex being dragged into the middle. Could that be all? No, as Takahashi kicks out once again.
Well, you know, Shinsuke, not a bad idea. Shinsuke tried to maneuver his ring presence so that Takahashi would center in the ring, but I think that timing kind of cut away from that. You know, you take a few seconds to move the guy a few inches away from the ropes and you lose the pin count.
Seems you can't keep Takahashi down. 2 Kinshasas now, 2 kickouts.
Absolutely been one hell of a matchup so far. It's only our second match of the night. And Nakamura and Takahashi are tearing the roof off of the building here on Baltimore, Maryland. The fans are on their feet.
I don't know about you guys, but this ref has had the slowest counts I have ever seen in my entire life.
They do seem slow. They do seem slow, Enzo. I agree with you. Very well. Good point for me to point that out.
It's a reference to Takahashi because you know what Takahashi lose. Shinsuke is laying it on this guy.
Or
fit.
It could be that the action that we're seeing is so fast-paced that it's just out of comparison, it seems that the count is slow.
True. Very. Another backdrop. He's just taking to Takahashi.
Those backdrops are going to have a lot of effect on Takahashi, given already the knees and the brutality Shinsuke's put upon him. Again, this is an offensive drive here. You know, until you mentioned it earlier, but this is definitely an offensive drive on the case of Shinsuke.
Could that be it? An inverse Falcon Arrow?
Wow, beautifully done.
No, Takahashi kicks out.
Well, you know, Shinsuke didn't even hook the leg there. I mean, yeah, he put his hand across his jawline, but it didn't even hook the leg. That makes a huge difference. I mean, Shinsuke's had a lot of pin attempts here where I feel like he could have done better or made more of an effort to solidify those pin attempts, and that was just a prime example, not hooking the leg. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Takahashi.
Going for an inside cradle here.
Oh!
Not even that can put him down.
Wow. Very, very great match this has been. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight at Eclipse Pro Wrestling. Wow.
A third exploder suplex. Could that be it?
It could, but you know, here again, I mean, Shinsuke sort of taking his time with those pin attempts. See the frustration, I understand, but know your opponent.
Hooking the leg now, clearly listening to you. The referee running around like a mad goose. And that finally delivers the victory to Shinsuke Nakamura.
And look, he finally, he did it after hooking the leg. Great matchup. Like you said, Enzo, practically a 5-star matchup. Great outing between both men. Shinsuke just able to be the better one in this case.
One thing I will say about Nakamura.
Indeed. Takahashi taking a lot there.
Very lackadaisical.
Then again, you don't become a strong style practitioner if you cop out after a few hits.
What a matchup that was. Not disappointing at all. Great outing, like I said earlier, by Shinsuke and Takahashi. Definitely par for the course for the likes of the action that you see here at Eclipse Pro Wrestling on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed. As we head to our next matchup, finally some tag team action. We have Blood Moon taking on The Bar.
It's going to be one hell of a tag team matchup. I love tag team wrestling. I think it's the best kind of wrestling. I love the tandem action. This is going to become a matter of who is the better team that can work in tandem from a tag team perspective, right? The Bar, obviously, their track record speaks for themselves, but, you know, I'm looking.
Never been at Nova, Zoro. So I think Bar 2, they don't just.
Paul's heading now to the ring for this tag team matchup.
Going to be one hell of a matchup here. Like I said, we have more great action coming, but I'm a very staunch fan of tag team wrestling, and when you could take these two teams like The Bar, like Blood Moon, there's nothing short of extraordinary that we're expected to see. I mean, this is going to be one hell of a matchup here that we're about to see.
Indeed. The Bar making their way to the ring first. coming out as tag teams should, unified.
Absolutely, they should come out unified. I mean, if a tag team doesn't come out, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad for a tag team not to come out at the same time, but it makes a better impression when a tag team comes out unified like that, because otherwise it begs the question, are they on the same page? Is there alternate agendas? What's the deal?
Big task.
A little bit. Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, I got the mic.
Way better. Way better.
Sorry, technical difficulties, guys. Thanks for changing.
Of course, Blood Moon making their way to the ring now. Pat Downs and Garrett Vera, the Giant. Very interesting to see these two. After their performances and other promotions, now they are here.
They're in the right place to make their impression felt. They're in the right place to be at Eclipse Pro Wrestling for a competitive tag team division.
Who is competitors? But you get a little background. Wrestling on my what talent is.
Match will be getting underway shortly.
Pardon me. Here we go.
You're going to see a lot of reversals.
Cesaro and Pat Down starting for each of their respective teams, trading back and forth blows.
This for European uppercut and gets down. Stiff jab.
Look at that. That raw power, that physical prowess from the likes of Cesaro. Very, very well executed by Cesaro.
Seems that Pat Down wants to go tit for tat with Cesaro.
Got the kryptonite getting laced on.
Definitely so, and I think it's going to come down to, like I said earlier, I think any good tag team match comes down to communication and the ability for a tag team to work in tandem with one another. And I think that's what Blood Moon's going to have to overcome here. I like the aggressiveness that I'm seeing from Blood Moon already, but don't underestimate the lights of the bar.
Interrupted some tag team offense there. And now Garrett Vera, the big man, is in the ring. Cesaro nowhere to be seen.
One hell of a matchup so far between these two tag teams again. This is our third installment of Eclipse Pro Wrestling, so, you know, the division and the dominance of who really is on the top of the division is sort of up for grabs, right? So it's anybody's game, really, at this point.
We're seeing tag team offense, tag team action from quite a few teams so far.
Absolutely. We saw a great matchup last week between the OG Club and the Mighty 61. Obviously, well, not obviously, but OG Club coming out with the victory there. But one hell of a tag team matchup that was last week at Eclipse Pro Wrestling.
Indeed, we also saw in our first installment the Silhouettes of Redemption facing off with the Bullet Club.
Yep, that was the first match card that we had. SOR, Silhouettes of Redemption, getting a win over the likes of Bullet Club there. That was one hell of a tag team matchup, too, to kick off the inaugural card.
Of course, for all those tuning in just recently, Scheller is at the desk alongside Steven Anderson, alongside Enzo Andretti.
This is what I'm talking about. Look, I mean, there's action inside the ring and outside the ring right now. I think that goes to say a lot about both teams, their ability to kind of divide and conquer, if you will, when it's necessary or required. Now, obviously, some stability has been restored, but one hell of a matchup this has been already.
Indeed. Being able to interrupt the tag team offense from the bars really giving Blood Moon the upper hand here.
That's what it's going to take. Go ahead, Enzo. Wow, this is pandemonium. Ref is going to have to, I mean, I don't know how we call that action in a match like this. Is, like I said, pandemonium, a little bit of anarchy here. Good opportunity for a tag for Blood Moon.
Could be looking for some more tandem offense here. Get the spear into the shooting star press. A second iteration of the Blood Moon finisher, as it were. And that hands them the victory.
Great tag team matchup. Blood Moon making their impression felt. Like I said earlier, tag team division is going to be one hell of a division here at Eclipse Pro Wrestling, and I liked what I just saw out of the likes of Blood Moon over the bar.
Of course, the name of the faction and the finisher sharing that Blood Moon moniker.
Let them celebrate in the ring. Fans are loving it on their feet here in Baltimore, Maryland.
Indeed, as we head to our next match.
Looking forward to this next one.
Got Mickie James taking on Bianca Belair with Alexa Bliss ringside.
Yeah, you know, Mickie James has the experience over Bianca Belair, but, you know, that doesn't always necessarily mean everything. I'm going to go with Bianca Belair here. I think that this is going to be one hell of a match between these two competitors, but I see Bianca Belair finding a way to outpace, out-wrestle, outmaneuver the likes of Mickie James here tonight between these two.
Quite potentially. I'm also going with Belair here tonight.
I'm gonna go with Belair too, man. I think we're gonna see an upset. I mean, Mickie James is a legend. Should be in the Hall of Fame. WWE is slacking on that one. Do your job, folks.
Yeah, the WWE is definitely slacking on that. They're just now getting the British Bulldog in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, slacking.
Although, it begs the question, with Alexa Bliss at ringside, will that have an impact on this match? I mean, my instinct says yes, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Of course, Mickie James having a lot of impact in Alexa Bliss's debut match against Little M on the first edition of Eclipse Pro.
That was one hell of a matchup. That was actually the second match of that night for our inaugural card. Little M getting that over Alexa Bliss.
Hey. Just gonna break the fourth wall here. 2K developers for the next game Bianca Belair is in. We need to do that ponytail a little bit better. That looks god awful.
Indeed, now we have the EST of Eclipse making her way to the ring.
Now the EST definitely wants to make her impression felt, but she's a little, the thing about Bianca Belair, and I have her winning this match, but I have to admit, I find her to be a little arrogant, and it's not her mic skills, it's not her performance skills, it's her stage presence, as I call it. I just find her to be a little gouty, a little arrogant.
You need that in the land of pro wrestling. We're not sports center. Not here to bootleg it. We're not here to make friends with everybody. We're here to fight. We're here to be champions, and that's exactly what we are.
That's a good point, Enzo.
She
well said.
is here to show that not only is she the ESD of Eclipse, but she is the best woman on this roster.
Strong words.
And arrogance goes along with that. It comes with the territory. Think you're the best, you have to show
Imagine Bianca Belair also not afraid to throw down with Bliss if she gets involved.
Well, I could imagine.
I definitely don't see any fear from her at all. I just, I agree with Enzo's comments there. I just feel like, being overconfident or being arrogant can sometimes be a double-edged sword. If by the same means you underestimate your opponent, like the likes of Mickie James, you don't want to underestimate somebody like her.
I treat her arrogant. I treat Bianca Belair's arrogance akin to the likes of a legend, both in WCW and WWE. If you can even consider.
Although, if you're looking at the early stages of the match, you do see Belair rushing into a fair amount of offense. That overconfidence coming into play there.
It reminds me a lot of Sean Waltman, also known as Eclipse.
Oh yeah.
Always the underdog. Little guy in the fight. He was 1-2-3 kid. That victory's
I remember that match. That was out of the Manhattan Center back in the day, early Raw days.
Such a good match to see an underdog like him get a pinfall over a Shinsuke Goliath.
Also,
I consider Bianca Belair arrogant at looking to this pop.
Interesting. That's a very interesting take.
Stand up to anybody and stand up to anybody and not fight to the and that is admirable. That's embodied.
Alexa Bliss pulling a chair into the ring. Maybe some plan that Mickie James and Bliss had in mind.
Here, Bianca. Both ladies sharing some stiff words.
I was going to say, very good are the likes of Bianca Belair to not let herself get too distracted by Alexa Bliss. Oh my God!
Finds Alexa again. 2 shots and lays Alexa out.
Wow!
Yes, it is reap what you sow. Those chair shots, deafening.
And she's able to do it without it affecting Bianca's ability. Right, it doesn't affect her ability. She's able to multitask and still stay on top of Mickie James.
I certainly thought that was going to be the end.
Indeed, welcome KB, thank you.
Oh yeah, look, KBE. What's up, the only KBE? My brother, from the same mother.
That was more like an inverted back spinning. Yeah, I don't even know what to call that. It was innovative.
Indeed, thank you. Designed by some of the greatest minds to ever be put in a wrestling ring.
Yeah, we talked about this at the
I'm just
inaugural
kidding.
show. Actually, I mentioned this myself at the first show. I love the mat design, and I love the ring rope as well. That black and orange is just very. It's different and stands out. It grabs your attention. It's captivating. It's compelling. I like it. Grabs you.
Gives our competitors the
Indeed,
feel like
each of the four corners represent one of the titles. We have the Eclipse title,
Hey,
the
ref,
Solar
focus on the match,
Championship.
man. Get Alex out of here. Get her out of here.
That's actually a very good point, David, is that the corners of the ring, if you look at the mat, they represent, like you mentioned, a different title within Eclipse Pro Wrestling.
And this is a debuting first, but the Tag Team Championships representing the relationship between two celestial entities, the Equinox. So I can debut the name of the Tag Team Championships, the Equinox Championships.
I love those title names. Absolutely love them.
That's also the name of a GMC group. Pointless tidbits from Enzo. Yes.
Well, I find it very colorful, very entertaining.
Thank you. It also gives the mat to me also gives that vibe that they are gods.
Right.
Among the cosmos.
Very well said.
These people are otherworldly beings, which they are doing. Because the average person can't do so the average person can't do 450 splash or Phoenix splash or a 054. And it gives a unique feel to our establishment. People come and see Eclipse and they know the show.
Well said.
Stage design, ring design, lighting, everything. It's a show. Bianca is just taking it to Mickie James. Oh my goodness.
She really is. I mean, as we were talking there, we saw some good maneuvering by Mickie James, the experienced competitor of these two. But like you said, Enzo, and I couldn't agree with you more. And my God, the EST, Bianca Belair, is just all over the place. Great action in this women's bout.
Only the ref can somehow get Alexa
I
out.
swear I just saw the referee throw out Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss not leaving ringside.
James was for the double knees again in this.
That's what I said at the beginning of this match. It's going to come down to who can, if Belair can outpace, out-wrestle, and outmaneuver Mickie James' experience. That's what's going to get her the win.
So she's setting up for the super kick.
Oh!
Reversal.
Well done by Bianca Belair. Again, outpacing Mickie James at every opportunity that she can find.
Mickie James slowing the pace ever so slightly.
Not a bad strategy by Mickie James. I mean, Bianca Belair has been all over the place, whether it's been attacking Alexa Bliss for good reason or staying on top of Mickie James. James' strategy at this point has to be to find a way to turn the tables in her favor, and that's not approaching or not appearing to be the case yet.
Well, you bring up Casey Next. A lot of people don't know, and it's an
Well, the
overlooked
overhead
thing.
toss. Could that be it?
It's an overlooked piece of knowledge about Bianca Belair. But she is an Division 1 athlete
Yes.
at the University of Tennessee.
The overhead toss earning Bianca Belair the win.
Very well done.
James perhaps distracted.
Bianca Belair earned that win, you guys. I mean, like I said, she just was the better performer here. She was very aggressive with Alexa Bliss being on the outside of the ring there while she tried to interfere with the match. And look at this.
Look at the sportsmanship.
Bit of a handshake there. Sign of respect from the legend.
You love to see it. I mean, you know, there's no reason for James to have any bad blood against Belair. I mean, look, Mickie James came out with Alexa Bliss and still lost the match. It was a good fight, but, Belair ended up being the better of the two here tonight.
Both competitors being escorted backstage, but Alexa Bliss remaining in the ring, asking for a microphone. Whatever could she be wanting now?
Who knows? I'm sure she feels entitled for something, even though she has not really made a very positive impression so far here at Eclipse Pro Wrestling. As you mentioned earlier, David, she lost her match against Lil M in the first week of Eclipse Pro Wrestling. So let's hear what she has to say.
Seems to be addressing a loss to Little M.
Well, I gotta say, that was a good bout. You go back 2 weeks now. This is our third week. That was a great matchup. It was our first women's bout in history at Eclipse Pro Wrestling, and Lil M just was the better competitor in that match.
Seems to be demanding a shot at contendership here.
Okay, Roberto Mossi's gonna build it, okay? Right? Demanding titles and stuff.
That's the thing. I mean, you could demand all you want, and I respect Alexa Bliss. She's got the mic, she's got the track record. Demand all you want. Actions speak louder than words.
Right. If you're not winning,
Indeed.
if you ain't winning, you ain't winning, and that's on you.
Absolutely couldn't have said it better myself, Enzo.
It's down to her problem.
They're just coming in from the general manager, or owner, really.
I have
He's going to... No, surely not. He's granting Alexa Bliss's request.
Wow. I agree with Enzo's sentiment.
Boo, that's terrible.
A fatal four-way to determine the first contender to the Women's Lunar Championship. It's going to be Bliss, Bayley, Tenille Dashwood, and Ember Moon in a fatal four-way stipulation.
Wow. That
So
was
a brief word from our sponsors. Redcon, totally.
Certainly not making it easy for Miss Bliss.
Now, wait a minute. Now, is there any indication from management as to when that's going to take place?
I believe that match has been made for next week.
All right. It's going to be one hell of a matchup.
The women main event Eclipse next week.
This is going to be one hell of a battle.
Just to revise for next week, we've got Lady Hawk potentially opening up the show, as well as a fatal four-way to determine a number one contender to the Lunar Championship.
Now, just to make sure I've been following you right, that fatal four-way for that number one contendership for the Women's Lunar Championship is going to be Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Ember Moon, and who else?
Tenille Dashwood.
Tenille Dashwood, there you go.
Formerly known as Emma.
Bliss will have an uphill climb to make that translate into a number one contendership.
Looking forward to this triple threat match that we're about to see. Scott, Storm, and Chad Gable. And Mr. Tacos.
Speaking of Mr. Taco making his way to the ring right now.
Yeah, and I look at Mr. Taco. I mean, when I think about these three, first of all, Chad Gable is and this is reality talking. Chad Gable is a Olympic caliber wrestler, Greco-Roman style Olympic caliber wrestler. And not to say that Scott Storm isn't, but Chad Gable honestly really is. And I look at Mr. Tacos when I compare these two competitors as a wild card in this match, which I think is going to make this match really special. I think we're going to see some amazing stuff from all three.
Certainly brings a different vibe to the other two competitors in this match.
Yes, which is not a bad thing. Like I said, that's why I mean, a wild card is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that will be the monkey wrench thrown into this match that's going to make it a potential barn burner. Time will tell, but he's definitely an fine entertainer as he makes his presence felt into the ring here tonight.
I hope he can wrestle as good as he can.
Really infectious, actually.
Yeah, sort of peacocking, if you will.
This isn't the this is the
Very much so.
Place where you punch out.
Well said, and so.
I think that shirt is like 4 sizes small for.
I was gonna say that's like a belly tee tank that gets very interesting. But again, not to take anything away from Mr. Tacos, or Scott Storm, I just think, first of all, I am gonna go with Mr. Tacos in this match because he's the wild card. But I think we're gonna see one hell of a matchup with the likes of Chad Gable and Scott Storm being on the other end of this match.
Dancing man's sake, Chad Gable doesn't snap off.
That's the thing. I mean, Chad Gable, he's got that Greco-Roman style background, that Olympic caliber. I mean, I compare Chad Gable to the likes. I'm trying to think of.
The young Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, Kurt Angle is a great example. I was trying to think of the name of the guy that Kurt Angle went up against. When he had broken his neck. But
yes.
A lot of great competitors in the Greco-Roman Olympic space, Chad Gable's in that caliber, in my opinion.
Now we're seeing Scott Storm making his way to the ring.
It's this guy putting his
That's an intimidating presence, no doubt.
Well, yeah, this guy puts you in like a chokehold or an armbar or something like that. It really gets just close to you at all, and he's got that beard, as Enzo pointed out. I mean, it's like a hazard, if you will.
If it was legal, much like in football, if your hair touches your uniform.
Well, you're a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee fan. You know, they got a dress code. You know.
Cut up there.
Yeah, you can. I remember when Donnie Damon became a Yankee, he had to cut his hair.
Like a newborn baby.
Yep.
Everybody that has those bird nests on their faces. I mean, I'm big in the Cleveland Browns colors. I mean, brown. I know they're brown and orange, but the brown and yellow. He looks like a UPS driver.
Wow. As one famous man once said, "I do not fear the beards. I Bronx cheer and dump beer on the weirds wearing the beards."
Hey, I like it. It looks like the Joker and an AKA sorority member gave birth to the title.
Mr. Tacos coming out guns blazing, honestly, against Gable, but not too fast there. Scott Storm also doing the same. What that
flying
has been?
He's flying all over the place. He completely missed the neck breaker.
I saw that. He got the second one.
And the third.
And the third.
Second and the third time's the charm, I guess.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more.
Is he about to finter on this guy already? Jeez, the match just started.
Gable's down. Well, Gable's getting up now, but, he waited there for a minute for Tacos to get up.
Where you going, Buttercup?
Of course, this is a triple threat. That means no DQs, no countouts. Has to end in the ring.
I feel like Mr. Tacos should sort of adopt the persona of, like, Carlito, if you remember Carlito.
Yes.
With the apples. Guy was always eating apples, but you never actually see him really kind of swallow the apple. He's kind of bite into it and spit it at you. Well, I could see Tacos kind of coming down with the chalupa or something and doing the same.
As long as it doesn't end in a taco table being brought down to the ring and someone going through it. Or a taco.
Reminds me of some of the great breakfast tacos I've had in the great city of Austin, Texas.
Not a breakfast person. I like more of a...
Oh yeah, no. These are not meant to be consumed in the morning. It's just an Texas thing. Like breakfast tacos is their thing. You consume them, 3 o'clock in the morning when the bars, 2 o'clock in the morning when the bars close. Great triple threat action so far. Not the first time Gable's been kind of incapacitated.
Storm is taking it to these guys, man.
He'd had a lot to make up for. Apparently that's the reason he didn't make it to the ring last week, was attacked by Kross before his attack on the many-faced heel in our first week of action.
And Caden Kross has definitely done a great job making his impression felt, if you will, with his actions last week, making it into the main event. Of course, he didn't get the victory in that main event, but he did have some great efforts to get there in that match before twice last week.
We got blood already.
Yep.
Mr. Tacos has been busted open.
Hit the spine buster and the face crusher.
Crimson masks, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta say, I mean, I'm a little not disappointed, not the word, it's just I expected more from Gable again. Not performing to the caliber that I expected him to so far in this matchup.
With the technical ability to change.
Exactly. And there's that suplex.
Got a near fall off that.
Finally showing some of that Greco-Roman, but hey, you know what? Don't spend so much time celebrating, because look what happened. Tacos comes up behind you and knocks you down. I'm all about fanfare, but there's a time and a place. God. These triple threat matches have so much going on. Fans on their feet in Baltimore, Maryland here tonight. A lot of action going on between Gable, Scott Storm, and Mr. Tacos, again, who I consider the wild card.
Indeed.
Mr. Tacos looking like Tom Brady out there on the sidelines.
Tom Brady could be going 7 for champion.
Yeah, I'm just...
That is mind-boggling.
I know.
That is on the verge of winning 7 Super Bowls. But one thing that we can both agree on, both being that you're great.
Oh, another spine buster.
Tom Brady's kryptonite. God.
Tom Brady. I could say a few choice words about Tom Brady, but I'm gonna edit myself. Like you said,
going for the face again.
Whoa!
Finish your time.
Boom! Boom! Shakalaka!
That's it.
Expertly dispatching Mr. Tacos with the spine buster and then applying the face crusher to Chad Gable.
Wow. Well, not a great outing by Chad Gable again. I expected more, but you know what? I called Mr. Tacos and I was wrong. Scott Storm, he earned it, so congratulations.
It's cerebral, only quite the right word to describe that performance there.
It was akin. His performance was akin to Kross. Academic.
Of course, next we head to our penultimate match. None other than the one we mentioned earlier, Killer Kross facing off with Robbie Eagles.
Oh, we got the Sniper of the Sky.
This is going to be one hell of a matchup to Robbie Eagles and Killer Kross. I mean, it goes back to when I talk about what my gut tells me, what my heart tells me. My gut tells me Killer Kross. My heart tells me Robbie Eagles. I usually go with my gut. It's the bigger of the two things when you compare my gut to my heart.
Robbie Eagles will face an up-here challenge trying to defeat Killer Kross here.
Let's kick this off. Again, one hell of a night of action here at Baltimore, Maryland for Eclipse Pro Wrestling. I want to thank you again, everybody, for joining tonight here on Twitch every Friday night at 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. This is where you come to for the best wrestling action on Twitch.
Seeing as how Robbie Eagle was taking her at one point, and El Phantasmo at another point. I do believe.
One thing I think we can all agree on is it's going to be one hell of a match between these two. I think one of the great things about all the matches that we've seen the past 2 weeks, now we're in our third week, is that the timing is so appropriate where everybody has something to prove. Everybody wants to be the baddest guy in the room, or in the ring, or in the locker room, and it's all about getting that record established, that win-loss record. So, I mean, this is going to be one hell of a matchup between Robbie Eagles and Killer Kross.
Indeed, now seeing Robbie Eagles make his way to the ring, looking rather confident here tonight. Of course, he knows what lies ahead of him.
And that's the thing. I mean, this goes back to kind of like Bianca Belair and Mickie James, right? I mean, not to say Killer Kross has an extensive amount of experience, right, in comparison to like the likes of Mickie James, but Eagles does kind of have an idea of what he's going up against with the likes of Killer Kross. Now, that's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. It's just going to be a matter of who's going to be able to seize the moment and take what's rightfully theirs, and that, I mean, is a victory.
Indeed, now Killer Kross making his way down to the ring.
Wow. Killer Kross kind of has this, how do you say, not morose, but this dark kind of vibe. It's not arrogance, it's confidence that he has. You can see in his body language as he makes his way down the entryway, that rampway there.
I'm getting strong Wesker vibes.
It's almost like you can feel the killer instinct emanating off him.
Yeah, in the way that he's just so cavalier, if you will, in his entrance as he just sort of takes his time down that rampway there. I'm in no rush. I know what I'm doing. And I believe he does feel like he knows what he's doing. And I think it's going to be one hell of a matchup. Him and Robbie Eagles here right now.
Killer Kross known to use everything at his disposal to pick up the win. Enzo, do you have any thoughts on Killer Kross in this match as we head into the action?
Like I said, I'm getting very heavy Albert Wesker vibes from the Resident Evil. That horror that established, and that Robbie Eagles better be ready for a fight, because this ain't gonna go his way if he goes for the high flies. That sticks to a ground attack and then try to limit the power moves that Kross gets off.
Wow. Out the gate, both men trying to be the aggressor. Kross being a smart gentleman and taking off his glasses, unlike the likes of Esselmania.
Just as we hit the 70-minute mark, we were at 7 viewers, so thank you all for tuning in.
Absolutely want to thank everybody for joining, participating, being a part of something that we truly believe in, and that's just providing entertainment to the people in classic wrestling, great action here on Twitch. So thank you all for being here with us tonight and every other week.
Hey, Enzo says thank you, right? Robbie Eagles gets flung right over and Steve now too. Killer Kross got a weapon on it.
Uh-oh. What the? Referees. Oh!
Killer Kross just taking out the referee.
He's just taking matters into his own hands. Literally.
Robbie Eagles using the moment to seize it.
Oh my god. That was
devastating DDT.
right on the ring apron there. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. That ring apron is, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, the hardest part of the ring. Because it doesn't have that padding on it. As you see, again, going after the referee. Wow. Robbie Eagles taking that bat. My goodness, unforgiving, just completely tirelessly and relentlessly going after him. I gotta tell you, the referee, I think,
is taking as much damage as Robbie Eagles.
yeah, and I gotta tell you what, he's gotten up 3 times. Not Robbie, but Killer Kross is taking him out a couple of times, and the ref has actually gotten up faster than I think we saw Chad Gable getting up in this match.
Right, ref hasn't even called for a DQ yet.
My God, this is complete insanity right now on the outside of the ring as we're standing up outside here at the desk. Oh my God, there you go. Unbelievable.
What does Killer Kross have in mind? Did he just really announce table for no reason?
Robbie Eagles tempted to grab the bat there.
Enzo, I copy.
Thank you for your service, Enzo. However, we'll be heading backstage for now, leaving just myself, David Scheller, and
Steven Anderson
at the desk.
Hey, this is Enzo and everybody signing out. Thank you.
Be well.
Have a good night.
Always great to have you at the table. Fans on their feet. One hell of a matchup. This has been very aggressive. As I said at the beginning of this match, both competitors trying to be the aggressor of the two, and it's just been, I gotta tell you, Killer Kross, in my opinion, has been the aggressor so far in this matchup, but don't put anything past Robbie Eagles. He's held his own. He's still standing. He has given up.
Killer Kross reverses the pinning combination and keeps it in for the 3 count. Very interesting way to finish this match after all that had transpired.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the way that it came down to, the way that the chips fell, or the way that the cookie crumbled, was par for the course with the way that this matchup went. It was very, like I said, very aggressive action that we saw.
Wait, that's many-faced heel.
What?
Blindsiding Killer Kross.
God. Raw power by the likes of many-faced heel who has I mean, Goodness, look at this.
She's laying it on.
I cannot believe this.
Walking in the straitjacket.
Wow.
Oh no. He's
Oh,
looking
God.
for the Black 7.
Oh, God. Somebody stop this. It's a total debacle right now.
Oh. Many-faced heel delivering revenge for that attack during our first week. However, as these two are cleared and sent to the back, we have to head to our main event.
Absolutely. Tonight's main event is going to be one hell of a matchup. It is for number one contendership.
Indeed. Main event time. World title contendership on the line. David Wise versus Adam Cole.
This could be a good matchup. Now, I'm going with David Wise here only because, nothing against Adam Cole, but I think so far, if you look back, right, I think David Wise, I know we're only 3 weeks in, but I think David Wise is, he's been promoting the last 2 weeks. He's been really kind of trying to make a name for himself, advertise his brand, and this is the first time we're seeing Adam Cole at Eclipse Pro Wrestling. So I'm going with David Wise here.
Indeed. I'm also going to have to go with the master of the bow and arrow here.
It's going to be one hell of a matchup, one hell of a main event.
Indeed, knows how to be a world champion, as does Adam Cole. Both these men earned their way, or have earned their name into this contendership opportunity.
Adam Cole, being his usual self here, has every reason to have the confidence that he has against my previous point. The last 2 weeks of show that Eclipse Pro Wrestling has put on David Wise is, he's promoted himself, his brand, his likeness, his capabilities, and looking forward to seeing his outing here tonight in our main event at Eclipse Pro Wrestling.
Of course, of note, the Undisputed Era isn't here tonight with him.
Fans loving Adam Cole and his stage presence, as they call it, or his ring presence. Definitely an electrifying and compelling competitor.
Of course, we're also on the road to affiliate, so anyone that can chuck us follows is greatly appreciated if you want to tune to more action. Now seeing David Wise make his way to the ring, got the fingers taped up.
He's ready.
For the fight.
He is ready. Not a bad idea to tape up those fingers too. For people who don't know what that does is sort of, if anybody's ever fractured a finger or damaged a hand or fractured a wrist, that sort of stabilizes the joints in the hand, in this case his fingers.
I think it's more so to apply his technical submissions and keep just the extra bit of grip on the tape there.
Couldn't agree with you more. I know that you have a more extensive. My background, for people who don't know, is more so in journalism, where I know, you may have more insight into those kind of things.
Doesn't really have a history of any finger-based issues, but definitely likes to apply one or more submission holds, and that just keeping the tab of tape helps to keep the grip in as you slip through, as you if you had sweat or any other liquid affecting the grip.
Kicking off this main event again, you know, this goes back to what I predicted earlier. David Wise coming out the gate here, guns blazing, really trying to come out, controlling the pace of the match so far. My God, Russian leg sweep really executed very well there by David Wise.
Adam Cole ain't going to be able to get out of the gate at all.
Pardon me while I just got a little distracted there, but again, another Russian leg sweep there by David Wise. It seems to be having a very positive effect so far. I mean, again, very aggressive offensive drive over the likes of Adam Cole.
Certainly seems so. Adam Cole maybe not in the right headspace.
Again, as we're obviously our main event of the night here between these two gentlemen. Again, this is for the #1 contendership match for the World Championship title. I want to thank everybody for joining and tuning in.
Getting that lifting, spinning power slam there. Wait. That can't be. Is that Sheamus?
What?
Sheamus's music?
What? But I don't understand. What the hell is he? Uh-oh. Look at that. That was the distraction Adam Cole needed, but it did not. I mean, David Wise is just keeping up the pace with him, even though I thought for a second Cole was going to get the better of him. And he sort of did, but Wise holding his own. Could have had a pin attempt there, but Wise not being very wise in that case. Sort of, I don't understand. This is sort of being a little too casual with Adam Cole, I think. I mean, Adam Cole is not looking great right now, but pin attempts he could have had there. There we go. Close but no cigar.
Oh no. He's looking for it now. The bow and arrow hold.
Damn it. Let's drop my pen here.
Bit early in the match, but still looking to weaken his opponent there.
Wise has been all over Adam Cole like white on rice in a snowstorm in this matchup. I mean, yeah, we've seen some great reversals and maneuvering by Adam Cole, but ultimately...
Wait, what?
Oh, God. There you have it.
The Northern Lights suplex picks up the win.
Picks up the win over Adam Cole, making David Wise the #1 contender now.
Wise is your new world title #1 contender. Wonder who will join him there.
Time will tell.
Clearly not in the right set for tonight's match. Don't know what was going on there.
Definitely going to be interesting to see who David Wise's respective opponent would be for the number one. I mean, obviously David Wise has that number one contendership. Who else will be able to stick with him? Who's going to be his challenger? Time will only tell.
Indeed. Few number one contenders named, their opponents not yet. Of course, that has been your main event from everyone at Eclipse Pro Wrestling. That is all for tonight. Any last words, Mr. Anderson?
Thank you, Scheller. I just want to thank everybody for joining tonight, and stay tuned for more great action here at Eclipse Pro Wrestling. Back to you.
Indeed, thank you all for the support today. And we hope to see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.